Are you looking at buying a property in Jamaica? Well, this video is for you. In this video, I will give you a step-by-step guide of how to purchase properties in Jamaica. Georgiana, Stephanie, this video is for you. Buying property in Jamaica is open to both local and foreign nationals, with no legal restrictions on foreign ownership. The process typically takes 90 to 120 days. That's 3 to 4 months. Please note, this is after you identify the property. So the first thing you're going to do is identify the property, of course. And this can be done through real estate agent, online listing, in person, or just referral. Secondly, you are going to engage a Jamaican attorney. That means you're going to get a lawyer. Real estate transactions in Jamaica heavily rely on lawyers. Engage licensed Jamaican attorney to issue estimates of closing costs, conduct due diligence, prepare legal documents, and register your title. And get a very good lawyer, because you don't want to have any issues. You don't want to buy a property and then you later find out that, here what, another person owned the property, so you were scammed. So do your due diligence and get your lawyer to work on your behalf. Number 3, obtain a tax registration number. That's called a TRN. Before you can buy or be gifted property, you must obtain a TRN. You can apply directly through the Tax Administration of Jamaica or their e-services portal, or visit the nearest Tax Administration of Jamaica location, or have your attorney apply on your behalf. So if you're living overseas and you're not in Jamaica at that given moment, you can have your attorney or your lawyer deal with the TRN for you. Did you know? Because I was 2 days here old when I found out that anybody can get a TRN in Jamaica. You don't have to be a Jamaican national. I was shocked, because I was thinking that a TRN, that's a tax registration number in Jamaica, is like a SIN number here in Canada or the US. But you, as a foreign national, can get a TRN number. You can apply for it. You are going to need some supporting documents, but you or your lawyer can apply for it, or you can also apply on the Tax Administration Jamaica website. I didn't know that. Doing this video also taught me new things, as well as I am bringing the information to you. And so I am loving it. Then you're going to make an offer and pay a deposit. Once you find a suitable property and the seller accepts your offer, you will sign a formal agreement for sale. At this time, you will typically pay a 10% to 20% deposit, which is held in escrow by the seller's authority. Then you're going to conduct your due diligence. Your lawyer will carry out a title search at the National Land Agency to ensure the property is free of liens or encumbrances. Will also verify property taxes and utility bills, and may recommend a land surveyor to confirm property boundaries. This is one of the reasons why you get a lawyer, because you want to ensure that everything is up to date, intact, and you're not being scammed. So the lawyer will work on your behalf, and don't just depend on the seller's lawyer. I remember I was purchasing a land once. It fell through. It didn't go through. And looking back, I'm thinking maybe it's a very good reason why this didn't happen. It's for the greater good, because I was doing it on my own. I didn't have a lawyer. I was dealing with the seller's lawyer. And when she sent me the agreement, I was vetting it myself. Of course, I did find some discrepancies, and I had to point them out to her and have her change the agreement. So looking back, even though I had someone who worked with tax administration of Jamaica and they checked on the title for me, but anything could have gone wrong then and there. They could have sold me plus someone else and someone else, and then when you check it out, I am not the owner of the land. Looking back, I was hurt that it fell through, but now I'm thinking maybe it was a good reason. At this stage, you're going to secure financing if applicable. That is, if you're not purchasing the property cash. In one of my previous video, I did speak on how to contribute to the NHT from overseas. So if you're a Jamaican living overseas, how to contribute to the National Housing Trust. And this is where NHT Hood comes in if you are trying to secure financing through NHT. So if you're not paying in cash, you can apply for a mortgage. While Jamaican banks offer mortgages to overseas buyers, requirements can be if you intend to take out a loan, begin the pre-approval process as soon as you start your property search. And this is something that I did. When I identified the land, I went straight to NHT and I asked them what are the requirements, how much money am I qualified for, and what do I need to do? And they will give you a guide. NHT, they are very flexible with this. They will just help you through all the stages. And it's very good to start the pre-approval stage from early so that the process can go by much quicker. You don't have any hiccups in the process. So after you secure the money, you're going to pay the closing costs and register the title. Upon the closing of the sale, the balance of the purchase price is paid and required taxes and fees are settled. These closing costs generally includes transfer tax, which is 2% of purchase price, and this is typically paid by seller. Stamp duty, and that's 5,000 JMD, split equally between the buyer and the seller. And also registration fee, and that is 0.5% of the purchase price. Once this is finalized, your attorney will have the new certificate of title officially issued to your name by the National Land Agency. And there you have it, people. It's a quick video, but it has all the information that you need to purchase a property in Jamaica. It's a straightforward process. And once you have a lawyer working on your behalf, a good lawyer, because you can get scammed or be scammed by your lawyer. So you have to seek out a very good attorney and ensure that they're doing their due diligence. You have to check them, and ensure that they have a good reputation. Ensure they are registered attorney. So once you have that in place and they're working very well on your behalf, you don't have anything to worry about. They're ensuring that everything is legit and will help to prevent scamming. Once you have all of that in place and you have your funds, it should be a fairly easy process. But bear in mind that everything in Jamaica takes some time. Every single thing in Jamaica takes time because this process will run you 3 to 4 months, given that you already locate the property that you are looking to purchase. And that's it for today, guys. And listen, I'm giving you all this information, not just me talking a bunch of things, but I'm doing my research as well, and I'm speaking to individuals that are working in these sectors. Let me insert a clip here from the professional just to educate you on the importance of a lawyer when purchasing properties in Jamaica.
More than more than myself or probably anybody watching or any other attorney will know the importance or the value of hiring representation. Tell me though, what is the role for those persons who still want to do it on their own? What's the role of your attorney in the process?
All right. Thanks, Danielle, for having me. And it's a very important area, particularly for our contributors who are accessing a loan to purchase. So what is the role of an attorney? Now, remember that the acquisition of whether it's land, whether it's a house, an apartment, is a contractual relationship. And every contract has terms and conditions. Now, many persons feel that, well, I think I can get by on my own. The agreement seems reasonable. I'm sure I can rely on the vendor's attorney to look out for me. And what I would say to all prospective purchasers is, while there is no law that says you must be represented by an attorney, the fact of the matter is that an attorney can really only represent one client to the very best of their ability. And so when something goes wrong is when you discover why you should have an attorney of your own, because the vendor's attorney is going to be looking out for the vendor. And so that's the first point. You really want somebody who represents your interests. You also want someone who is going to vet the agreement for sale for any terms that might be particularly prejudicial to you as the purchaser. You also want the attorney who is representing you to walk you through the whole process of the acquisition of the property. That might include not only vetting the agreement for sale, but doing a title search. Is the person who is selling really authorized to sell? The purchaser's attorney also guides you through some of the requirements that you will have to meet in terms of accessing financing, whether from the NHD or any other financial institution. And so it's important that you have someone to represent you, particularly if you do not reside in Jamaica, you don't understand Jamaican law, you don't understand the processes that guide a sale. They're not the same as they are in other areas. And so having someone in Jamaica to guide you through that process really is ideal. And the other thing too, when you speak about competence, is you also need to be sure that you select someone who is above board, licensed to practice, has some experience in conveyancing law. While all attorneys, I'm sure, could guide you through the process, there are those who are experienced in conveyancing law, so they know some of the pitfalls that perhaps attorneys who practice in other areas of the law may not be so au fait with. So I think I've outlined most of the reasons why and the good reasons why. And even more importantly, the lawyers of the NHD do not represent the purchaser. The lawyers of the NHD represent the National Housing Trust. It's our job to look out for the NHD's interests by securing the loans, by giving advice to the institution. And while we do try to look out for our customers or our purchasers, really our obligation is to the National Housing Trust.
And, I let out a sigh when you had said that it's the job, of your attorney to do a title search to ensure that the vendor is authorized. I am not an attorney, and I see this so very often, whether it is on social media or any other media platform. And you see it in, news sometimes where multiple persons have bought the same property.
Correct.
And it could have been prevented because these hiccups could have been prevented as they're costly hiccups.
There you have it. The least you can do for me is to subscribe to the channel and also leave a comment. But if you don't want to leave a comment, that's fair. Just like the video. All right. So thank you guys again for tuning in and take care.